Today on the short video for the channel, we're looking at another weird and cheap thing that I bought. Well, it's not really that weird, it's just an SSD, but it's super cheap. You can get this 480 gig version on Amazon currently for $21.99. I'd call that a steal. It's from a company called, well, the backing company, if you look up the FCC ID, is N400. The model of this thing is the KLEVV, KLEVV Neo, designed for smarter life. So that's, that's good. There's not a whole lot on here other than they maintain that it's SLC flash memory. So, you get the good stuff at least for $20. And the drive itself is just a pressed metal enclosure. SSD standard 2.5 inch drive, of course. It's just pressed metal, so unfortunately I won't be tearing it apart because I actually want to use this. So sorry for anybody who was hoping for that. But it's got this goofy sticker on the front that's a sort of faux carbon fiber. It's fine. It looks fine. But like I said, I can't crack it open for you, so sorry about that. But we'll at least take a look at some speeds. I wasn't really anticipating much because this was like the cheapest drive you could get in about this size. And I'm really just using it as a cache drive, so if it explodes, right? But taking a look at the actual speeds, just throwing it through Crystal Disk Mark real quick, not too bad for tiny files. The 50 sort of megabyte version of the test for Crystal Disk Mark did respectably well, at least for sequential reads and writes, which is like 90% of what I'm going for. But for your information, you can see the results of my testing here. We ended up with 554 of read and 408 write. And then like what I'm really looking for is really a large file performance, which isn't much different. Large file performance, 32 gigabyte in this case. 521 and 433 read and write respectively. Yeah, fine, great, 10 out of 10. So I also backed this up with the ATTO disk benchmark. I didn't go with like a huge file. I mean, once you get past about 64 megs, it's pretty much stable, as you can see from this chart here. So yeah, in the 500 megabyte range, megabytes per second, I mean. So it's going to be fine for what I'm going to use it for. It's going to be an unraid cache drive, but I figured if anybody was curious about this drive, I'd post a tiny video about it. Not much to say here about it other than this. You can get these drives from KLEVV, or N400, really. You can get them on Amazon. Amazon currently has the 480 and 240 version, but according to their website, you can get them in a variety of sizes, including but not limited to all the way down to 120 and all the way up to 512 gigabytes. So, for whatever you need. They're stupid cheap. They actually claim on their website that they have a 3-year limited warranty and sequential read up to 500 megabytes per second, which is, pretty much backed up by my, amateur testing here. So looking on their website, you can just see there's not a whole lot of information here that's massively interesting. There's a lot of buzzwords about junk, but basically what you really need to know is it's a very, very cheap and very, very reasonably priced SSD by N400. So, nothing too much else to say about it. Hopefully this was helpful to at least 5 people who were interested in getting a ridiculously cheap 480 gig SSD. Ultimately, the formatting size after formatting in Windows looks like it's going to be like 447 gigabytes. So in case you're curious, that's what it ended up being for me. You do with that what you will. All right. Well, have a good one, and I'll see you in another video sometime whenever I feel like posting another one.